Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Castleman, and I'm the Executive Director of the Sexual Assault Support Center of Waterloo Region, also known as SASC for short. Welcome to our staff team's video highlights of our 21-22 fiscal year. Since 1989, SASC has been supporting survivors of sexual violence and working towards prevention through education, community collaboration, and systemic advocacy. When the COVID-19 pandemic hit, the research told us that gendered violence would increase in our communities locally and globally, and that's exactly what's come to pass. The pandemic's also had a significant impact on people's mental health and wellness. For survivors, this impact is magnified. Many have been pushed to the brink during the pandemic and have reached out to us in crisis. This, combined with the fact that there had already been an increase in the post-Me Too era, has meant that the demand for our services is up significantly across all our programs. When we compare this fiscal year to the year before the pandemic, we've seen a 58% increase in requests for individual counseling, a 369% increase in participants in our group programs, a 49% increase in women accessing our family court support program, a 23% increase in clients in our AntiHuman Trafficking program, and a 32% increase in the use of our 24-hour support line and online chat supports. Because of this, the waiting lists for counseling hit an all-time high this year, making the news locally and provincially. Many of those reaching out have been from disenfranchised and vulnerable communities. The vast majority are women and girls. Half are young survivors between the ages of 16 to 25. Many are Black, Indigenous, racialized, and or members of the 2S LGBTQ+ community. Many are struggling with precarious housing or no housing. Our center completed a new strategic plan this year, and not surprisingly, reducing our waiting list is a key priority in the time ahead, but we can't do that without resources. Much of our time has been spent advocating for funding for our sector as an essential service, locally, provincially, and nationally, and working to strengthen our fundraising program. I'd like to thank everyone who stood in solidarity with our center in these challenging times. If you've donated, funded our work, granted us funds, volunteered, amplified our messages, or partnered with us, thank you. Throughout this time, our staff team kept doing what they do, transforming lives and working towards social change. I'm proud to work amongst some of the most incredible humans in Waterloo Region, and here are just a few of them, highlighting our work and our programs over the last year.
Hello and good evening, everyone. My name is Serenia Thermalingam, and I'm the new manager of counseling services here at SASC. I initially started as a counselor advocate in the fall of 2021, and I've had the privilege of acquiring this new role in early February of this year. Each one of our counselors have been doing a tremendous job supporting survivors as we face our own relationship to fatigue, stress, health, and disenfranchised grief during this pandemic. And yet we show up each day ready to provide support, care, advocacy, and empowerment to each of our survivors. This past year has been particularly challenging, and yet our survivors and our team have shown remarkable strength and resilience. We were able to hire and culturally diversify our team for survivors requesting racialized or 2S LGBTQIA+ identified counselors. Survivors now have the option of requesting short-term counseling or long-term counseling based on their needs. We have also increased our amount of advocacy time provided to clients, including virtual and in-person accompaniments and writing letters of support. Throughout the pandemic, we offered online sessions and have now started offering some in-person sessions in the past few months. We'll continue to provide this option moving forward as it does decrease barriers and increases accessibility for our survivors seeking counseling supports. These changes would not have been possible without the dedication of our committed team of counselor advocates, including Phoenix, Megan Faye, Noni, Maggie, Caroline, Shreya, Stephanie, and Rhea. And of course, we've all had the privilege of being supported and empowered by our Director of Services, Andrea, throughout these very challenging times. I feel very honored and privileged to be working with you all in our mission to supporting survivors of sexual and gender-based violence in our community. I'm also looking forward to continue working with you and learning from this amazing team. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Adria Joelle, and I am the Group and Workshop Coordinator at SASC. For those who don't know, we offer a number of groups and workshops to survivors that are free and confidential. This past year, we have continued to offer them virtually, and I've heard that being able to continue to offer services in this way has increased accessibility for many. We plan to offer both virtual and in-person groups moving forward to give people choice in participating. We are constantly adapting our groups and workshops to meet the needs of community by creating new offerings based on suggestions and feedback from survivors, as well as continuing to offer what folks have found useful. To name a few coming up, we have a new weekly art drop-in group, a sexual healing closed group, healing through storytelling group, while continuing to offer our weekly support group for survivors, Alone Together, and monthly group for Black, Indigenous, and racialized survivors called Shades of the Soul. We also now have pre-counseling workshops that are offered regularly to give folks on the wait list some psychoeducation and support while waiting to see an individual counselor. We are excited to be partnering with post-secondary institutions and other community partners to offer support and meet people where they are. It is an honor to be a witness in these spaces. There is nothing quite like seeing or hearing the difference it makes when someone realizes that others are struggling with the same thing or have their experiences validated by a fellow survivor, or being congratulated for accomplishment from others who know just how much effort it took. I have so many ideas for this next year, and I'm excited to put them in action. I want to say a huge thank you to the students and counselors who co-facilitate with me, and of course to everyone who supports SASC to make these spaces possible. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, most folks already know me, but for those who do not, my name is Nikki Carswell, and I'm the coordinator of our AntiHuman Trafficking program. This program supports folks who've experienced sexual exploitation, sex trafficking, or at significant risk, as well as supporters or loved ones. This past year has been a busy year for our small but mighty team of 3, which consists of myself, Tori, and Krista. Despite the up and downs of COVID-19, we've continued to provide flexible and unique support to 125 folks, 75% of which are youth 24 and under. I could talk for a long time about the things I'm proud to say we accomplished this year, but aside from our day-to-day support, I'd like to highlight our achievements in our goals for prevention and housing. This year, we updated all program materials and provided many trainings and workshops throughout the region. But due to new provincial legislation, we got the grand opportunity to create and facilitate training for school board administration staff across our region. For Anti-Human Trafficking Awareness Day in February, we participated in 4 performances and talkbacks of Chelsea's Story, a play and talkback about a young woman who was groomed and exploited. We also continued to provide programming within youth shelters and with family and children's services. But new to us this year, we started attending a drop-in program to support those who are unhoused and who are experiencing exploitation within settings such as encampments. In terms of our housing goals, up until recently, our region severely lacked options for survivors of trafficking. So we created a plan that involves emergency shelter, transitional housing, and third stage housing. We first accomplished third stage by partnering with Seeds of Hope and opening Hoy's Mikolos House. We are excited to now offer 2 independent apartments to survivors who are ready to attend school or find employment. One of the current survivors found a passion for baking, which is delicious, and is now exploring her options for culinary school. Another goal for housing, a more recent goal, in partnership with Women's Crisis Services, we obtained 2 dedicated shelter beds. Although the first year as a pilot, having 2 beds available will provide survivors with the opportunity to safely and securely access wraparound supports while they exit situations of exploitation. No, we have yet to obtain transitional housing, but come back next year and I'm sure I'll be happy to update that we have done it.
Hello, my name is Jacob Reese, and I'm the project facilitator with the Male Allies program. I'll be providing an update about the public education team's activities over the past fiscal year. We've had an incredible year of changes, challenges, and growth, all while engaging the community through the delivery of intersectional, trauma-informed, and empowering sexual and gender-based violence prevention education. SASC's corporate training program raised the bar, brought on a new workplace equity educator, Mitchell Mervin. As the newest member of the public education team, Mitchell brings a great deal of drive, creativity, and big aspirations to push Raise the Bar forward as we strive to raise awareness of our corporate training options, which focus on prevention and response to sexual harassment in the workplace, as well as policy review services. SASC was successful in its application to Canada's Women and Gender Equity's Feminist Response and Recovery Fund, which is providing funding for our new Male Allyship Expansion Project, which allows SASC to leverage its years of experience and innovation in male allyship work to support other feminist-led organizations in Ontario over the next 2 years in their aspirations to do similar work. In October of 2021, Rod Molina and I joined the team as part of this project and have focused on recruiting stakeholder organizations, planning our online learning and networking site, and updating and formalizing our Male Allies program. Our public education team has transitioned back to limited in-person programming while navigating the various restrictions throughout the year, which has kept this incredible team adaptive and creative in engaging and igniting change within Waterloo Region and beyond. Throughout the year, we have hosted events like Take Back the Night and 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. Our team members spoke at several national conferences, and we engaged in many fruitful community collaborations, such as running programming with community justice initiatives, Monic's Place, Ray of Hope, Focus for Ethnic Women, Horizon, as well as many schools across the region. In total, we ran 385 individual workshops and reached 11,763 people with our education work. We continued our delivery of the Canadian Women Foundation's funded program, Empower and Allyship, under Sarah Wiley's leadership. This included a virtual summer camp and March break camp that resulted in creative youth-led projects focused on consent, healthy relationships, and violence prevention. Ajay Scott, our Male Allies educator, continued to provide ongoing engagement while developing new and innovative Male Allies programming focused on engaging men and boys in the prevention of gender-based violence, including a youth drop-in program called Hanging with the Guys and programming for fraternities at Wilfrid Laurier University. Ajay has also expanded our 7-week Male Allies training to deepen our engagement with men in the prevention of gender-based violence through education, connection, and mentorship. SASC's public education program is proud to partner with Conestoga College, the University of Waterloo, and Wilfrid Laurier University. Through our funding with post-secondary partners, we have been able to bring critical programming to students in our region. We want to extend a huge thank you to all of our volunteers, our placement students, for their valuable contributions to our education initiatives over the past year. And finally, we want to express our deep appreciation to all the funders and donors that made it possible for us to connect with so many people locally, provincially, nationally, and even internationally.
Hello, my name's Diane. I am the new full-time family court support worker. It is a complete honor to be part of such an amazing team here at SASC. The previous family court support worker did an excellent job in supporting me in my transition. She left very organized files and resource lists and did a very good job training me. Although our work is very difficult here at SASC, it is also very rewarding. The thing that I have discovered in my role isn't really about the knowledge, learning the legal jargon. It's really about the presence. It's about being here for the folks we serve. I look forward to tackling the ever-growing intake list and hope to have new updates for you next year. Take care.
Hi, I'm Nora Saad, the new part-time family court support worker here at SASC. I, alongside my colleague Diane Pillock, are committed to providing ongoing support and service to our clients who are currently in the family court system. Because of the rise in domestic and sexual violence that occurred during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Family Court Support Program is busy working diligently to provide ongoing support to all those facing domestic and sexual abuse and neglect. Unfortunately, a lot of our clients are women who are vulnerable to our family court system. Therefore, our services are important to ensure they are well heard, affirmed, and protected throughout their process. Although the COVID-19 pandemic is beginning to cease, the need for family court support is still ongoing and in full throttle. Now that the courts are beginning to open up and allow for in-person accompaniment, our workload will be increased to accommodate such needs. We not only provide support and advocacy on behalf of our clients, but we also work to motivate and empower them throughout their journey. The work we do is important. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Natalie Prasad. I joined SASC in October as our very first sexual violence legal advocate. And since October, we have registered close to 70 different clients with a variety of needs, from needing to ask questions that they don't know where else to ask, making police reports, and going to court. I can tell you that I have learned as much from our courageous clients as I have from our amazing staff team. We recently supported a client who had to go to court to testify. She asked me to pass on the invitation to as many SASC staff to be there as possible. And on her first day of testimony, 10 staff showed up. The VWAP worker said she'd never seen anything like it. And as we were waiting in the wait room, our client, it was quiet, and one of our staff shared with her that Jacob, one of our male allies on the pub ed team who was present, had said that being invited to support her at court was going to be able to inform the work that he did moving forward. And our client got up and she walked towards him with her arms open, and they gave each other just the most sincere embrace. And it was very touching, even as I tell you now. The offender was acquitted from that trial. But even though he was acquitted, our client said to me that she felt that it was a victory for her, because she knows that even getting your day in court is a rare thing. And she attributed the support and encouragement of SASC and the team to get her there that day. So she walked away feeling that she had accomplished something, and she got some of her life back. I can tell you, I think the common trend is that most people that I've been dealing with or working with, they're looking for affirmation and information. And once they have those two things, it seems to stabilize the situation enough for them to be able to process what their options are moving forward. Sometimes they also need a strong advocate who's not afraid to speak up. And my SASC coworkers will tell you I'm not afraid to speak up. I anticipate great things ahead. This program is so essential. I think it needs to be repeated everywhere. I look forward to the testimonials of our clients, letting the systems know that they need someone who's going to be looking out for them to give them their voice and help them be heard again. So I look forward to great things ahead. It's an honor to be in this role. I love being here at SASC, and thank you so much. Take care.
My name is Olivia Davitt, and I'm the volunteer coordinator here at SASC. This was an extremely successful year for our volunteer program. Volunteers have been continuously dedicated to supporting all areas of our agency, including the 24-hour support line, online chat service, public education program, anti-human trafficking program, and many others. By delivering our comprehensive volunteer training in both the fall and winter months, we were able to effectively onboard over 40 new volunteers to help support our programs and expand our coverage. This influx of new volunteers was especially beneficial to the 24-hour support line. We were able to eliminate the need for SASC administrative staff to cover the support line during working hours, and we grew our backup list and reduced the number of open shifts during the evening and overnight hours. In total, we took over 1,400 calls on our support line this year. It was also a positive year for our online chat. Because the increased number of volunteers, we were able to expand our hours from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. to midnight on a daily basis. This is extremely exciting as we're now able to offer more consistent programming to help meet the needs of the community. All of these achievements have had a large and positive impact on our clients and the community we serve. By increasing the capacity of our frontline crisis services, we've been able to widely support survivors of sexual violence with emotional support, resources, and referrals. We've been able to connect folks with not only internal SASC programming like counseling and groups and workshops, but also relevant community services tailored to their individual needs. I'm continuously amazed by the wide range of support provided by our volunteers. Words simply can't describe the impact that they've made on the community by supporting survivors, and I feel so grateful for the opportunity to see the work that they do each day. Thank you.